What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be listing my top 10 heroes that I want to see added in future seasons of Marvel Rivals. There's a lot of different characters in the game, and Marvel has a long list of heroes that they can just pluck from and put right into this game. So I'm going to list my top 10 of who I want to see added in the future. But until we get to that, I just want to say thank you for all the support that I've been getting. My latest video about the patch notes and the one before that about the 1.5 tier list have really blown up, and I've gotten a lot of views off of that and a lot of likes and comments. So I just want to thank you guys so much for all of that. If there's any other type of Marvel Rivals / gaming content you want to see, go ahead and let me know in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But until then, leave a like, subscribe, and let's cue that intro. Alright, so before I start listing characters, I'm just going to say that I'm going to list them in role order. So I'm going to start with the Vanguards, and then I'm going to go to the Duelists, and then I'm going to end with the Strategists. So the first Vanguard that I want to see added into the game is going to be Antman. So I don't know how they would do it, but this guy has to be able to shrink himself and grow large at the exact same time. Maybe his ultimate can just be him going super huge and just stomping all over the map. Not over the map, but like at least over a certain AoE. That would be super cool. You can give him an ability to shield his allies and make them even bigger, so that way they can take more damage. He can also have the ability to shrink himself and get to areas a lot quicker. I don't know. I feel like they can have a lot of fun with his moveset. I feel like he would need to be a tank just because, you know, it's Ant-Man. He can grow big, go small, but he's super strong anyway. So I think him being a Vanguard makes the most sense. So he'll be the first character that I list off. I really want to see Ant-Man in the game. The second Vanguard that I want to see them add is going to be Juggernaut. And in my opinion, they need to add a lot of X-Men into this game. So with Juggernaut, I would have to imagine he'd be kind of simple to use, but kind of like the Thing. I would say he needs to be like a bruiser. He has to be immovable, like kind of like the Thing, where he can't be knocked down or he can't be pushed around with other abilities. I feel like you have to do the same with the Juggernaut. He's just crazy. Maybe one of his abilities is he can't run through walls. That'd be a little too overpowered. But maybe he just he can like jump, kind of like the Hulk, but do a massive AoE attack. I feel like that'd be super cool. You can give him standard punches. You can have him cross his arms and make a giant shield. I feel like that would make sense for the game standards. I don't know. I honestly don't know how they would do it. He's a pretty simple character, just massive and strong. Besides being immovable, I don't know what else you would do to make him unique, but I feel like they can pull it off. So the next Vanguard I want to see, and next character I want to see is Juggernaut. The final Vanguard that I want to see them add is going to be the Red Hulk. And I feel like this could be such a cool character for them to add to the game. So you don't have to make him as strong as the Hulk, like health wise, because he's not in the comics, but you have to incorporate some fire type abilities into his kit. Maybe he can have a long range attack where he'll pick up a rock on fire and throw it at his enemies. That would be pretty cool. For his ultimate, maybe you can make it so he does a massive fire clap, kind of like the Hulk does, but the Hulk has it as one of his standard abilities. I don't know. I feel like they have to add another Hulk-like character into this game. It would be a very fun character to use as well. So, I don't know. I feel like the Red Hulk would make a lot of sense in this game as well. And they could probably incorporate him into the story somehow. I don't know how they would do it, but they've been doing a great job with everything so far. So, I don't doubt they could do it again. But yeah, the final Vanguard I want to list and the final Vanguard that I want to see added into the game is the Red Hulk. The first Duelist that I want to see them add into the game is, you could consider him a tank, but I want to see him as a Duelist, and that's Ghost Rider. I feel like this character needs to be in the game, and I feel like they're working on him already, but I just want to see Ghost Rider in the game. I can just imagine his moveset. He's going around whipping people with his chains on fire. Maybe his ultimate can be like him on his motorcycle in an AoE, like everyone, kind of like Jeff. Maybe everyone inside is just taking massive amounts of damage. That would be pretty cool. He can shoot people with fireballs. I don't know. There's a lot of fire abilities, but hey, it's Ghost Rider. You know, what am I gonna do? But he's a very popular character. I'm sure a lot of people would agree that they would want to see him in the game as well. So I feel like Ghost Rider would make it an awesome addition to the roster. The second duelist that I want to see them add is someone who I'm 90% sure is already being made and going to be put in the game soon, and that's Cyclops. I mean, I feel like if you want to incorporate the X-Men somehow into this game, you have to do it with Cyclops. So obviously they have Wolverine already, who's the most popular one, but you have to have the leader of the X-Men in there. I can just imagine this guy being an insane long-range duelist, just shooting you with like bursts of his laser. Maybe he has an ability like Iron Man's Unibeam where he just prolongs it. And I could just imagine his ultimate where he takes off his visor and just lays out the whole area with lasers. I don't know. It could be a pretty simple character to use, but I feel like he has to be in the game, and his moveset would fit Marvel Rivals. I feel like he'd be a lot of fun to use. If they want to add more X-Men into this game, I feel like you have to add Cyclops just because, of how popular he is. So the second duelist I want to see them add is Cyclops. The third DPS that I want to see them add is someone who I feel like they should add along with the fourth and final one on my list, and that's Drax. Because you have all the Guardians of the Galaxy in there already. You have Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Mantis, Adam Warlock, Groot. I feel like you have to complete the Guardians, and Drax is just one that I feel like would be a little difficult to add in there, like moveset wise. Like I don't really know what he would do. I feel like he would have to be a DPS, maybe something like a Mr. Fantastic where he feels like a tank but is obviously a duelist. Maybe he just goes in there, messes people up. Maybe like a dive character. Maybe he can throw his knives at people. His ultimate can just be him gaining massive amounts of health and like in like a rage mode and just mess people up. I could see that working. I don't know how they would do his moveset if I'm being honest. I just feel like they have to add the entirety of the Guardians of the Galaxy into this game. So yeah, I think they should add Drax into the game. For my final DPS that I want to see added into the game, you probably already know who this is going to be, but I want to see them add Gamora in some shape or way. Like I said, I feel like you have to complete the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like her moveset could be pretty fun to use. I think she would be like a dive character, going into the back line, killing all the strategists, and just messing people up, especially with the way the meta is right now. I feel like she would be a lot of fun to use. As for her abilities, I don't know. You can give her like a dash, kind of like Psylocke or Genji. You can, I would say, nah, not go invisible. That'd be too overpowered. Maybe something like Drax, where she gains health and can just tear people up, or like Magic kind of. I know she could do that with her ultimate. I don't know. I don't know how they would incorporate her and Drax into the game. If I'm being honest, I know they talk about them in some voice lines that you can hear, but I feel like you just have to add them, man. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see all of them in the game, so this pick may be a little biased, but I want to see them add Gamora into the game and complete the Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, now we're going to go into the strategists. And if I'm being honest, the three people that I picked aren't necessarily people who I would consider healers initially, but in the case of someone like Adam Warlock or Rocket Raccoon, I wouldn't really consider them healers either, but they did what they did, and honestly, it works out for the game. So the first strategist that I'm going to say that they should add into the game is Vision. I feel like this guy would have a kind of like Adam Warlock, where he does a lot of good damage for a healer. You can have him shoot out of his forehead with his Mind Stone and just do good amounts of damage. You can also make that his primary fire and heal people with it as well. Maybe he can, I feel like he would have an ability where he can harden himself, so he is like a shield almost, and he can use that on himself or dash to his teammates and do that as well. Kind of like Mr. Fantastic, where he stretches out and blocks all incoming damage. I feel like he could do that as well, but have the ability to dash onto his teammates and block damage for them. I feel like that would be a really cool ability. I know he could phase through walls. I don't think he should be able to do that. That would be too overpowered. His ultimate, I don't know what it would be though. That one's tricky, because I feel like I almost want to give him an attacking ultimate, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'll let you guys decide whether or what he would do. But overall, I feel like Vision would be a dope character to add. I feel like he can have some cool interactions with Wanda when they're on the same team. But yeah, I would really like to see Vision in this game. And as a support, I feel like it wouldn't make the most sense, like I said, with the other characters, but I'm sure they can make it work. The second strategist that I want to see them add into the game would be like a funny one. I don't know how they would make it work, but I want to see them add Modok into the game. Now, I don't know how they would do it. Like I said, massive floating head. I feel like he would be the slowest character to use. But I don't know. I feel like he would be a pretty cool character to have in the game. I feel like he would fit the style that they're going for. For his abilities, maybe give him, like Adam Warlock, giving him an ability that would heal. I feel like would make sense. Maybe I'm crazy here. This could be broken, but who freaking cares? Give him an ability that heals you and gives you damage boost at the exact same time. I feel like that'd be really cool. Limit it, obviously, to like 1 or 2, but I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Maybe give him an ability where he's able to confuse the enemy team. Like, let's say there's an enemy Namor on the other team and you confuse him. His controls switch. So if he's trying to go left, he'll go right. Or maybe give them an ability where if you hit someone on the enemy team, they see their teammates as enemies. And let's say, like I said, you have a Namor, his octopuses will actually start attacking his teammates. Obviously, that's kind of situational. Anyone who gets hit with that would probably know that, hey, that's not my enemy, that's my teammate. But hey, you never know. It could be pretty fun. I don't know how they would make him work, but I feel like he would work as a strategist. I feel like out of the 3 that I'm listing, he's the one who would actually work without stretching it a little bit. So, yeah. I don't know how they would make it work. I feel like it'd be hilarious, but I would love to see them add Modok sometime in the future. And finally, the last character that I want to see them add into the game is, honestly, I'm surprised they haven't said anything about this guy earlier, but he's a big character in Marvel Rivals who is not a playable character. He's the main villain of the game, and that's Doctor Doom. And I feel like they'll probably release him maybe next year when the movies start to come out with him in it. I feel like he has to be in the game somehow. And I could see it work as a strategist. I know he would probably be a tank, but it depends on how big you make him. He looks pretty big in the trailers of the game, but I could see him as a strategist. Obviously, the guy does everything. He's a wizard. He's a scientist. He can literally do whatever you want. So the freedom to just go crazy on his moveset is there, you know? For his moves, I feel like you can give him a primary fire that'll heal and damage people. I feel like that would work for him. Maybe you can give him, you know how Thor can give Storm a chain lightning attack where it like bounces between people? Yeah, give him that as an ability. I feel like that'd be really cool. His ultimate, that's hard. That's hard because I'm making him as a strategist. Maybe you give him an ultimate where it's kind of like Hela, but it's from the ground and you're able to move around. You're able to shoot people to do massive amounts of damage, or you shoot your allies and do massive amounts of healing. So it's a very situational ultimate, which could work both ways depending on what your objective is, you know? I don't know how they'll make it work. I feel like he would have to be like the coolest character in the game because, like I said, the movie's coming out. They're going to want to cash in on that, so they're going to have to make Doctor Doom a really, really dope character. Those are some abilities I think could work. They could do a lot with this character. Like I said, he can almost do anything. So I feel like they have to add Doctor Doom at some point in the future. And yeah, those are all the characters that I think they need to add into Marvel Rivals. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a list in the comments who you want to see added in the future of Marvel Rivals. They have a long list of characters and they can literally just pluck anyone they want and throw them into this game. So let me know who you want to see in future seasons. Again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support you're giving me on this channel. I hope to make a lot more content for you guys in the future. But until then, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.